Their advanced scientific application.
Well, that's the economist and doctor of history, Webster Griffin Tarpley. A lot of different views and perspectives today. We had, of course, Lou Dobbs on for about 40 minutes. We have interviewed Alan Watt. We have interviewed Jonathan Irish. They got their baby back. Turned out the CPS had put the name of another John Irish. There's got to be 20 Alex Joneses in Austin, Texas. Imagine having my kid taken because some other Alex Jones had a domestic violence conviction. The baby has been given back for all those putting out disinfo. We were right again. You were wrong. We have had so many great people on the broadcast, and I'm going to be here until tomorrow afternoon live, a 27-hour live broadcast in between, so we have breaks, plus all these great interviews we've done for films we haven't put in the films yet. You're seeing them here. We've had Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. We have coming up Dr. Stanley Monteith popping in during the next hour. We have Luke Radowski coming on. We have in studio Richard Reeves, great talk show host and true libertarian and patriot. Austinite going to be in studio with us. We've got coming up Max Keiser on the economy. We've got 2 hours with Gerald Celente live via video Skype connection. We've got Dr. Childress on eugenics, Catherine Austin Fitz on the economy and more, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny on vaccines. We've got, of course, coming up Jeffrey W. Smith on all the GMOs and the dangers there and how it ties into the eugenics. That is all coming up. We are here live. In fact, a lot of my great crew have their children up here tonight. They've got their dogs running around. I like this. This is fun. It was Jaron Nyhart's idea a couple months ago. We'd actually talked years ago. Great minds think alike, I guess. Or I guess similarly, deranged minds think alike, to have a 24-hour broadcast, but we just hadn't done it. But this one is video, too. It's free online at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. To scroll down, it says live video streaming of the Infowars Moneybomb for free. Send that link out to friends and family. We've just updated about 30 minutes ago. We've raised $200,000+, $223,000. And that number is actually about 45 minutes old because the graphics guy, we have to take all the phone call orders. We've raised $14,000 since then, so it's accelerating. Just like it always accelerates at night. Everybody gets home from work. So what's 14,000 plus 223 or whatever that number was? I can't see it on screen across the room. Can you put it back up for me? What's 14 plus 223? 238. So $238,000, our goal $500,000. Anybody that's run a business and operation with 20 employees, contractors, 14,000 square feet, $20+ a month in bandwidth cost. The fact that they don't let you write off even the new studio we built, most of it, you understand how hard it is. We have a $200,000 a month operating expense. We are the biggest alternative media operation in the world that actually exposes the eugenics, the world government, the staged terror, the financing of the foreign enemies, the banking implosion. We're a platform for all these great guests and people that join us. And Joel Skousen, just an amazing individual, is going to be on with us for the rest of the hour, commercial free, a little bit into the next. Then we're going to play a 10-minute video and bring Dr. Stan Monteith on. We're going to be here all night. But even if you can't give, I've told people, I'm not like one of these preachers, you know, give me money and God will bless you. You know, give me your rent check. No. If you're in financial trouble, don't give me a red cent. Spread the word about the Money Bomb, Infowars.com, the free links to my videos all over YouTube and Google that over 200 million people have seen the last several years. Think about that. Alex Jones, out of a little office in Austin, Texas, a guy who started out 15 years ago on Access TV, because of the truth and the research and your support, we are on over 75 big AM and FM stations. I'm talking San Francisco. I'm talking Chicago. I'm talking major cities, Austin, Texas. We're on KILF in Dallas. We're on in Orlando, Florida. We're on in Buffalo, New York. We are on just all over the place. And a lot of great mom and pops in Tennessee and New York have been carrying us for 13, 14 years since I got syndicated. But 9/11 got staged, and I was on over 100 radio stations. Oh, yeah, I was set to be on 300, 400 by now. And the stations called and they said, you don't talk about that being an inside job. This is the day it happened and the bombs going off and all that. And I said, look, I can't not tell the truth. And Ted Anderson said, look, I support you. I think it's good you're not going to compromise. And we went down to about 30 radio stations. I lost 70 plus. But, I mean, that is so valuable to me, losing those radio stations, not selling out, not compromising. That's what I value. I value my wife, my children, my freedom, and never compromising. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. Doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. But it's so good to be real. And it's so good to be changing history, to be having a huge effect. I mean, all the major political terms I've introduced, whether it's propaganda placement or left-right paradigm, it's all entered the nomenclature. And it's amazing. I mean, what we cover here every day ends up on Glenn Beck and everywhere else, and they now admit that. I mean, we have the top 4 Google trends today because of you. And it's because you've supported us buying the books and DVDs. And you're like, we understand. We're going to buy the DVDs so you can make more films, and you're going to give it out free for people that are newbies and don't care and don't appreciate the information. I mean, this new film I'm making on eugenics is over $200,000 in production. It's actually out of control, and it's part of the reason our operation's having some problems. I got 2 films in production, one over $100,000, one over $200,000, and the guys are like, let's make the film. And I'm just like, more interviews, more research, more, and I'm going to shut up and go to Joel Skousen because he's here with us, and I'll probably keep him a little bit in the next hour. It's just that here we are during the 2010 Infowars Moneybomb. This came from you, the grassroots, 3 years ago. I'm in a 4,000 square foot office or smaller. People are like, you got to grow. You're reaching so many people. I'm like, yeah, we got 6, 7 people. I just don't want to deal with it. And people were like, it's your responsibility. And the public started a money bomb, and I ignored it. And then 2 days before, they said, why aren't you plugging it? We're insulted. And I said, okay, I'll plug it. 300,000 came in. The one we did last year, 350,000 roughly, or something. It was actually more after checks came in the mail. And then I wasn't going to do one this year. We've always done it in the early summer, the last 2. And I was just like, you know, I just don't want to do it. And then I saw all the bills come in, and we're trying to finish the studio. We need the support. So InfowarsMoneyBomb.com to give by credit card or PayPal, or call 888-253-3139. The great folks have been taking calls since 8 a.m. this morning. They all volunteered for it. They're exhausted. They've got part of the crew that went home a few hours ago is coming back at like 3 in the morning. But there's a bunch of people back there. You know, even Rob Jacobson on my top video editors, you know, back there taking phone calls right now. 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. We're not the federal government that comes in and forces you through your tax money to give tens of billions a year that they finance, not just NPR, not just PBS, with your money for collectivism and globalism, but propaganda placement in nightly news and sitcoms and dramas. They admit, I told you this 12 years ago, now it's declassified. This is your choice to give to this fight. Please think about how historical it is and the effect we're having. And Michelle Bachmann getting $5.4 million yesterday. I think overall she's a good congresswoman, misled on all these wars. But she's getting $5.4 million. I mean, that's a rat hole compared to what money will do here in this operation. 90% of the Pentagon's operations are psyops. 90%. Well, they've got lies and disinfo and the dark side. We've got the truth. We know it's all about an InfoWar. So InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com or 888-253-3139. If you can't give, that's fine. Spread the word on your email. Call your friends and family. Even if there's not an AM or FM in their area, you can tell them to go to Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, click on the free flash video player, and watch the show live right now on television, over the internet, or listen to the free audio stream at Infowars.com. Without further ado, for the rest of the hour, we are very honored to have Joel Skousen as a political scientist by training, specializing in the philosophy of law, constitutional theory. Is also a designer of high-security residences and retreats. He has designed self-sufficient and high-security homes throughout North America and has consulted in Central America as well. His latest book is in the field of strategic relocation, North American Guide to Safe Places, and is an active consultant with persons who need to relocate for security purposes, increase self-sufficiency. He also assists people who need to live near a large city to develop contingency retreat plans involving rural, farm, and recreation property. And the globalists all have underground bunkers and offshore bases. I mean, this is smart. Joel was raised in Oregon and later served as a fighter pilot for the U.S. Marine Corps during Vietnam War prior to beginning his design firm and specializing in high-security residence retreats. During the 80s, he took a leave of absence to serve as chairman of the Conservative National Committee in Washington, D.C., and concurrently served as executive editor of Conservative Digest. For 2 years, he published the newsletter entitled World Affairs Brief and served as the senior editor for a lot of other great quarterly journals for law and government. The World Affairs Brief is now back in publication for many years now and is available as a weekly email newsletter or a monthly print edition at joelskousen.com. He's the editor-in-chief at World Affairs Brief. We'll give you all that information. But I really want to talk to him about the economy, about the fact that more and more of this information is coming out in the open, and about where he sees this society and the fact that they're trying to shut down the alternative media right now. Joel Skousen, we're honored to have you with us today.
Well, thank you, Alex, and I'm honored to be part of your show. I really appreciate what you've been doing, and I just rejoice in the success that you're having in your fundraising. You know, our public radio stations don't get half that kind of funding in the day that you've accumulated. So, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Without the listeners, we couldn't do anything. People say, why do I talk about Glenn Beck? I just want to spend a few minutes with this. Cleon Skousen, your uncle, wrote The Naked Communist and The Naked Capitalist, two of the seminal works that were really the genesis of my awakening. Then I found None Dare Call It Conspiracy and other seminal works, groundbreaking works. And we challenged Glenn Beck a few months ago on air to step it up. I've challenged him. I now have multiple people inside Fox on top of who I already had, and they say he's scared, everything you'd actually been told. He's saying they want to put poison in the water, they want world government, they want death camps, that he's now talking about major foundations, not small ones, and suddenly they're really coming after him. Now he has health problems. And people say, why do you reach out to Glenn Beck? Well, I mean, he's out there representing the Patriot movement, whether he's a sellout or not. We've got to at least try to communicate with him, and he's going in the right direction. And I put out the story about Diet Coke, which they admit, even in Fox News, causes cancer and blindness, macular dystrophy. And his co-host, while he was in the hospital, made fun of us. But I actually have the clip now where he came and said, no, it is bad for you, and I appreciate them giving me that info. So this is real. I mean, we're actually communicating with him, and that's important.
Well, I think that's the right approach, Alex. I don't think Glenn Beck is a sellout. He got on the wrong side of the conspiracy fence early on, and I think his ego kept him from coming back to a more realistic appreciation of that. He did, of course, have so-called independent analysts, the shills for government, popular mechanics give him a bum steer on the FEMA camps. But he has apparently come around where the conspiracy issue is undeniable relative to the global governance and eugenics and other things, and it scares him to death. And I think he's under a lot of stress right now because he knows it's going to be very difficult, if impossible, for him to breach that subject on Fox without being kicked off the network. And he's having a fit of conscience, I think. So I think he needs support.
Well, we know that George Soros and all these people are attacking him, and they also attack me, and I know I'm for real. And so that also brings another issue. And then he told the New York Times that they may basically fire him. That was some of the intel I was getting. And they've taken 297 of his sponsors. So the overall global system, we know there's different factions in the Anglo-American system. They don't like Glenn Beck.
That's right. I think this is a case where it ran away from them. I think they originally saw him as a wild card, someone who could easily discredit the movement. And to a certain extent, they have been able to take pot shots at him. He isn't the most careful spokesman, and he does goof around a little bit too much. But nevertheless, I think it ran away from them. They thought he was going to be a foil for the movement, so to speak, and now he's turned out to be fairly credible. He is having a very large impact in bringing a lot of people, in the mainstream who haven't got agitated about what our government
Exactly.
is doing.
He's bringing them to us, and I've got a really strong gut, Joel, and it took me decades to learn to always follow it because, it's never wrong. It's discernment, as the Bible says, as you know. I'm not saying, I'm great and mighty and some genius, and we all have discernment if God gives it to us. But just 6 months ago, I'd watch him, and something was wrong, and I had a really bad feeling. More and more, you can see he's freaked out. He realized this is eternity he's involved in. This is a major crossroads he's at, and he is slowly moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I think eventually we're going to see him shut down. I frankly think that because I do think that he's got his heart in the right place, and the more he gets his eyes opened, as I say, I don't think he's going to be able to mesh well with Fox News. Eventually, I think he's going to get shut down.
Just like Lou Dobbs getting thrown out of CNN.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah, I've talked to Lou a little bit and off behind the scenes, and he's a real patriot. I mean, he really tried the best he could in that mainstream context to tell the truth.
Yeah, he started to